Many fans here in the chat.
Hello and welcome to MDG Media coverage from the round 2 back 9 of the last Euro Tour event of the season. It is the Euro Tour final Andalucia Open in beautiful Chipiona, Spain. My name is Elias Luukkonen and I will be taking you through this round with a special guest, your current European champion, Dennis Augustsson. What's up, Dennis?
What's up, Elias? We are gonna be taking you through the back 9 of round 2, as he said, and I'm looking forward to what they will do.
Yep, we had some good plays on the front 9, also some not so good plays by our guard. We will have to improve on that, and Silver is still leading the round, although there are some people from the chase card chasing hard. So everybody on this top card will have to start scoring if they want to stay and if they want to hold their position. We're going on hole 10. A true dogleg par 4. You need about 110 meters off the tee. You want to go straight, or if you can, slightly to the right at the end. And if you do that without missing the right side Mando that is at the corner, or going towards the left side OB on the path, you're gonna be able to have a pretty short, easy approach for the birdie 3.
Yes. And here we see Lauri with the forehand. And as we said earlier, in the front 9, he has very big power for both forehand and backhand. And it looks very nice. He clears the Mando tree and is in perfect position for his second shot.
Yeah, that's well done there. Even able to get the skip in the thick grass. There's usually not much skip unless you hit the gravel part of the fairway. And Rasmus there, challenging the Mando with the backhand. He's gonna be in play and still possibly a chance for the birdie.
Yes. Silver with the big forehand as well. Hitting the Mando tree and finding sweet spot as well. That was fortunate.
I'm going with my overstable DD3 once again.
Are you flexing it?
Yes, I'm throwing a flex shot here, trying to go towards the left side, and that was actually a pretty good hit I got from the branches. My disc was fading back to the fairway, but not bouncing OB off the branches was ideal, and now I have a very overstable splice approach. This is only about 75 meters to the basket.
Yes. Splice, spike, hyzer, finding circle, easy work. Nice done. Here we see Rasmus throwing his second shot. Low hyzer, skipping towards the fence, but finding the circle. Well done.
Lauri, he's so far up here, he even has a backhand hyzer. And unfortunately, he has found the OB on the left. That's a pretty big mistake.
Yeah, that's not what you want. Here's Silver with the low forehand. Perfect approach, 5 to 6 meters.
Yep, he's very comfortable. I forgot to ask him what that disc is, but that overstable approach disc, he's throwing it all over the place. And Lauri there, not quite able to hit it from outside edge of circle 1.
I'm pretty sure it's Justice Silver throws.
Yeah, very well could be. It's definitely flying like a Justice. A beat up one anyway, as we saw a good putt from Rasmus, and that's well done from Silver as well.
Yes, yes. Here we see Elias for the birdie. Top right, but makes it. Nice.
Yeah, that was not one of my proudest putts. Definitely not in the middle, but I feel like these baskets actually catch very well from the sides.
Yeah. If high or the sides, they catch well. But if you put it in the middle, low, they will most likely spit you out.
Yeah, we saw a lot of spit outs in the tournament, unfortunately, especially in the windier rounds. We're moving on to another par 4 here, hole 11. It's not the longest par 4. You really need only about two. You could throw two 95-meter shots to find yourself to the green. Most people going for a bigger shot off the tee, trying to get about 110 meters. A bit of a hyzer line, and then really up to the green. It's a dealer's choice. You can choose whatever shot you like. Most people, though, going for a forehand hyzer.
Yes. Here we see Rasmus throwing it into the trees, but landing safe.
Do you think he'll still be going for the green from there?
I'm not sure. Maybe. It's far away. Silver with the very nice backhand drive. Sweet spot.
That's well done by him. And I'm once again teeing off from the grass to avoid slipping. Tee pads right now are quite good because they are dry, but if there's any moisture on your shoes, it definitely made the tee pads slightly slicker than what you are most likely comfortable with. And this is a new play. Lauri going for the forehand.
Wow. This is interesting. Wow. He will play re-tee since he found OB on his first shot. Throwing 3 from there. And landing safe on the third.
Yep, that was a good adjustment, although a pretty big error, never even crossing in bounds over the left side OB with that first shot.
Here we see Rasmus actually going for it, I believe. And yeah, he's putting from circle's edge. Well done.
Yep, that's a pretty risky shot. It's one of the tighter greens on the course. Obviously, many greens on this course have OB quite close to the basket, but especially this one.
Here we see Elias with the big forehand hyzer. Ended up around the circle as well.
Yeah, I landed at about 9 meters, but unfortunately took a bad roll closer to 15. So pretty much an unrunnable putt with that OB close to the basket.
Silver going pretty aggressive on his second shot. I believe staying safe. And Lauri with the upshot as well.
Left it a little bit short there. He's gonna have a tester putt left for the bogey 5. And myself here, just trying to put it under the basket. Actually, not the greatest layup. I even hit the rocks below the basket, but luckily did not roll all the way to the water, because that can definitely happen.
Yes. I feel like sometimes it's better to go for it other than half running it, because you lose control. I feel like when you're half running it instead of fully running it or fully laying it up.
Yeah, very true. I agree. We saw good birdie putt from Silver, and
Rasmus as well.
yep, very, very well done there. Uphill putt, and Lauri has a similar one for the bogey now.
Showing mental strength once again. Lauri will take the bogey with a good putt to stop the bleeding.
Yep, that's it. And for me, got the lone par on the card. Not something to be too sad about, even though it's definitely a hole that you would like the birdie as it's playing a quarter of a stroke below par. And talking about hole you would like to birdie, this is not one of them. Hole 12, 141 meters, even playing into a slight headwind. Not the highest winds today, but the headwind was still present. The fairway is lined with that water on the left side and that path on the right, so you have to stay on the grass to be safe. Most people playing this for par.
Yes, I think they are very mature for playing it for par, because not many people will reach the basket in these conditions, even when it's calm, like you said. So I think it's smart to play for the 3 here, as you will not lose many strokes taking par all 3 rounds.
Very true. Rasmus there exactly doing that. He's on the fairway outside of circle 2 there, but gonna have a very easy approach. Not likely a look at the birdie, and same for Silver. Just trying to put it to the fairway and set himself up with a routine short forehand approach.
Yes. Well done by those guys. And here we see Elias with the big backhand hyzer landing on the fairway as well, playing for the par.
Yes, very much. I took my most overstable distance driver, a metal flake PD2. Just try to put it down there to the middle. And this is one guy that could actually reach the green, even in the headwind.
Yes, but it looks like he chooses to play it more to the left than we thought, but he ended up safe, and all 4 players on the card will most likely end up taking pars, which is the most common.
This hole is playing as the most difficult hole on the course, as it averages almost 0.4 strokes above a par.
Elias with the perfect approach, and Rasmus doing the same. Lauri for the long birdie putt. Oof. Giving it a good run, just short of the basket, will tap in for par.
Yeah, Lauri actually was putting with an overstable approach disc there. I believe a Mint from Clash Discs, his sponsor. So trying to get around that tree and drop it into the basket, but just not quite able to do it this time.
Elias with the par, and everyone else doing the same. Like we said, not losing too many strokes taking a par on this hole.
Yeah, very true. I feel like there are certain moments on this course, especially where you just need to accept that par is a good score. For example, hole 1 and this hole 12. Now we're going to go to hole 14 now. Unfortunately, our footage from hole 13 was stolen by the Spanish Mafia, so we'll have to skip hole 13 and move on to this hole 14. A really tough left to right bending par 3. 125 meters and even playing into a slight headwind. This is a birdie that if you can get, you're gonna be super happy with. It's the 4th most difficult hole on the course. I would expect to see some forehands here.
Yes, as we saw on hole 9, I think they were all throwing forehand, so I will think they will do the same here, as they have big power. Wow, we see Lauri almost finding the circle.
And on this hole, mostly everybody, no matter their footwork, is choosing to tee off from this left side of the tee pad. And that is mostly to open up the angle for the gap from the left side you have a better angle to go for the green, if that's what you like to do.
Yes, and we see Elias with the similar results as Lauri. They both will be putting for birdie, and Silver throwing it into the trees will be throwing his second shot. And we see Rasmus with the roller almost going up OB long, but will be putting from, I think, circle 3 for birdie.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised with that choice, but he told me that he was very confident and felt like he couldn't go OB with the roller. So good play there as Silver throws a perfect approach. He's gonna have an easy time getting his par.
Yes, well done, Silver. And Elias just coming up a bit short on his birdie attempt. It was still a good run, I would say. And here we see Rasmus also coming up short.
So it's going to be down to Lauri to save our card for the birdie, but that is not the case. Looks like it will be 4 pars. If Silver can make this, he has a bit more distance than I thought.
Ay. He keeps ending up short on his putts. Maybe some nerves.
Could be true. Could be very true. Silver mentioned that, I believe after this hole he mentioned that he's just really not feeling it today. But still fighting well. He's not playing bad. His score is still okay, and he still has good chance to hopefully stay on the lead card or even near the top positions, even when he's playing a little bit below his level. And we're moving on to hole 15, one of the windier holes on the course. Technically not a very difficult one, it's just a straight shot, 99 meters. You do have some room to shape a forehand hyzer if you want to. Most people trying to do exactly that, go with something quite overstable, slightly on the left side of the fairway and fade your way back to the right. Hopefully avoid the OBs on the edges of the fairway.
Yeah, the key is to keep it low here, to not get affected by the wind. As we see Lauri throwing a beautiful forehand, as he has done all round, I feel like. And he absolutely parks this one. Well done.
Yeah, very good point there, keeping it low, especially since we have that bit of a headwind here. And I'm not able to get the disc flat out there. I threw a very overstable disc. Now I'm challenging that right side OB, but fortunately staying safe.
That's a good break. Was that also a Metal Flake PD2?
Yes. I'm throwing a red Metal Flake PD2 on a lot of the holes. Yes. And we saw Rasmus there making a similar mistake to mine, not quite able to push it on the left side of the fairway or get it flat. So he's faded out to the right. And Silver, that's a pretty big miss. He has gone OB left.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic. And a mistake you want to avoid at all costs.
For sure, now he will have to take it back. And he's not really having a putt for the par. Compared to if you go OB right or OB long, you still have a look for that par. But he will still have to throw this 50-meter approach to even get up and down for the bogey.
And he makes good work of that one. I think it was the Justice again. He throws that thing really well.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see me fist bumping there for the fact that my disc was just barely safe. Now trying to make one from 50 feet. Wow. Sorry, 15 meters. We're not in America.
Yeah, 50 feet or 15 meters. It was a big putt anyhow. Very well done, Elias. In the wind as well. Rasmus following suit from much closer. Well done. And here we see Silver tapping out the birdie. No, the bogey, I mean, sorry.
He's gonna lose 2 strokes to the entire card here as everybody else is carding the birdie. And looking at the scorecard, Silver with 3 consecutive bogeys. That is not what you want to do, even though these are some of the more difficult holes.
Yes, that's true.
And moving on to hole 16. Feel like a very similar hole to the last one. You have this slight right to left slope. You have OB left, OB right, and OB long. Another very good hole for that flat to hyzering overstable sidearm.
Yes. And once again, you want to keep it low to not get affected by the wind.
Very true. Talking about the wind, there was that same headwind on this hole as there was on the previous. So most players going with quite an overstable disc, honestly.
Yes. These players probably will be going with forehands, and I will going backhand. Nicely done from Lauri. Finding almost the circle, I think.
And even though, Denka, you mentioned it's pretty smart to keep it low, I'm actually taking a higher line here, trying to go over the light poles on the left side of the fairway with that overstable DD3.
Yeah.
And very happy with this result.
Yeah. When you're doing what Elias is doing, you can throw high. Oh, here we see Rasmus with the backhand anhyzer. Just coming up short, but a good line. Anyway.
Good line for sure. Although it's a little bit surprising to see Rasmus going with the backhand. He does have this distance on that flat to hyzer forehand, but I suppose he was just not that comfortable with it at the moment.
Yes. And we see Silver with the forehand skip shot coming up about the same distance as Lauri, I would say. Maybe just a little bit shorter.
Yeah, that is the common play here, I feel, leaving it in that 10 meters short, 10 to 15 short. Rasmus first.
What a good bid from Rasmus, but he comes up just high, and will be taking a par, most likely. Now Lauri with the birdie attempt, coming up just low, unfortunately. And Silver was a little bit closer, indeed. Keeps on missing short.
That is unfortunate to see. It has really been the theme of this round. And while I am his closest competitor right now, able to tie him up at 7 under with only 2 holes to go in this round 2.
Actually 8 under.
Very true. I clearly said something else. But yes, 8 under total. Although there might be somebody on the chase card that might be even further down under par. We don't know it at this moment, but what we know for sure is that people are making moves on the chase card.
Indeed, indeed. As we come to hole 17, a pretty... it's not one of the longer par 4s, but in this wind it becomes very tricky. It is 222 meters. And yeah, tell us about this hole, Elias.
Yeah, it's, as you said, not a very tricky hole normally, but with the wind we had a pretty good right to left wind. Not as strong as in the previous days, but you still have to consider it. Fairway is pretty wide, most people going for a nice big hyzer off the tee. Either side you can go forehand or backhand. And once you have hit the fairway with that big hyzer, you're set up for a really routine approach.
Yes. And here we see Elias with the really nice backhand drive. actually skipping off the roof. That was very nice to see. Elias ending up in the sweet spot.
Yeah, I have to admit that was very lucky on my part. And I actually don't know if I had ended up on the roof. That might have still been safe. And Lauri kind of one-upping on me, and even making a bigger hyzer with his huge arm. He's really known for his distance.
Yeah, I can tell why now. Wow, that is huge. And here we see a more human result from Rasmus. Still a very nice drive. Every three of them in perfect position of the tee. And Silver doing similar things but with his forehand. So everyone in good position after the tee shot.
So it's already Silver here, throwing the approach and almost making it in the basket. What a nice line with the forehand.
Yes.
Even able to control that skip with it's a pretty thick grouse on this hole.
Yeah, absolutely. Very nice done by Silver. And I think the wind keeping it from fading in for Rasmus. He will be putting for birdie from circle 2.
Yep, still a nice right to left wind. And to counter that, I'm going with a very overstable splice. You can see I threw it almost as hard as I could, even from 85 meters out.
Yes. And here we see Lauri with the textbook approach.
Yeah, Lauri really playing this hole down to perfection with that huge hyzer and just an easy forehand. And Rasmus here, that was a little bit off there, right?
Yes, a little bit left. Putting for par. Making it.
Yeah, not the hole you would like to par. I feel like the wind is still affecting this hole today, but it's still definitely one of the easier ones, playing 0.3 strokes below par on average. And actually 57% of the field getting the birdie.
Wow. Yeah, that shows it's not one of the harder holes. So yeah, you want to pick this one up, especially when it's not that windy.
For sure. And talking about holes to pick up, hole 18, second easiest hole on the course. There's a nice helping, pushing wind, a right-left headwind on this one. Helping on this one, since on the drive you want to throw a high hyzer, moving as far left as possible. The basket from the tee's angle is very far left, so the more left you can move on the drive, the closer your approach will be. And after a good drive, you're most likely left with somewhere between 80 meters to 110 meters on the approach. Pretty much open, but still some palm trees on the right side to contend with.
And here we see Elias with the big hyzer backhand. Very well done there. Finding the sweet spot by the benches in the fairway.
Yep, the benches are, could you say, a pretty good benchmark for where the sweet spot is on this hole.
Yes, indeed. Good one, Elias. Wow. Very well done by Rasmus. Lauri, sorry. Once again. I mean Lauri.
Yeah, I feel like when the disc is flying like inhumanly far, it has to be Lauri.
Yes.
Silver there, not quite as far, but he's also challenging that backside. That path is marking the OB, so you want to stay short of it. And Rasmus here with a nice line. This is moving far left, which is what you want.
Yes. Similar result as Elias. Good drives there. And here we see Silver with his second shot. Yes. Coming up just short of the circle. Will be putting for birdie from 11 meters.
Yep, not a bad play there, but I definitely want to be closer than that. Although I was going with my most overstable PD2 and left it 20 meters short from 90 meters out. How is that even possible?
Maybe you threw it with hyzer from the start. I thought you wanted maybe to give it a little bit more room to fade out before.
Very true. That was kind of embarrassing on my part, as Rasmus throws a good approach to only about 5 meters left, and Lauri once again with a routine forehand.
Yeah, Lauri making it look easy on these two holes. Indeed. Very inspirational. Oh. Wow. That was high.
That was very high. I was somehow trying to give it a soft bait, but I just lifted my arm very high, and Silver here.
Connecting for the birdie. Very beautifully done, Silver.
Absolutely. On the final hole, even after that bogey stretch, he was able to finish with 2 consecutive birdies and able to take that crucial 1 stroke over myself going into the final round.
Yes, and here we see Rasmus tapping out his birdie and Lauri doing the same. Yes, well done. Lauri finishing with a score of -4 with that triple bogey start. It's very good to see.
Yep. Nobody on the card really played super hot. I had the best round score of -5. As you mentioned, Lauri with that -4, and Rasmus and Silver both shooting 3 under. That's not the score you would like on this calmer than usual day on this course, but definitely not bad.
Yeah, right. Some room to work with tomorrow.
And this is the top 10 for tomorrow. Silver leading by that crucial 1 stroke over both Miro Ryhänen, who shot an incredible 9 under round today, and myself. And finishing out the lead card will be Matej Wojcik. I butchered that name. Sorry, Matej. He shot a nice 8 under round also.
Yes, very nice indeed. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you in the 3rd round.
Yeah, thank you guys so much, and please, if you feel like supporting MDG Media, you can do that on Patreon, or if you don't want to pay, liking and subscribing is well enough. See you in round 3.